Morning everyone, how are we all doing today? It's Monday and I'm just getting ready again in my kitchen because that plumbing scaffolding is still outside my dressing room and I still haven't been to get some blinds or nets or whatever for the window. So yeah, I don't know how to do my hair today. I'm just gonna I'm just going to pop it in a clip a minute while I do my face and then we'll do my hair after. That's what I'm going to do. So, I've woken up, well, I woke up at 5:30 and wasn't feeling too bad. And now I'm feeling annoyed. And I don't want to go into it because it's personal, but I just wanted to come on here and just vent really and just get ready with you guys really. I'm just gonna quickly whack some makeup on and I do want to do it quickly. Let's just wet my sponge. Quickly wipe down the sides before I go because I made some toast. There's all jam and crumbs all over the side. I've got to do that. Just use some of this water cream. I'm loving this at the minute. The Inky List Omega water cream, lightweight and hydrating. I just think it's just so nice and just light and non-greasy and I love it. So yeah, I'm using that. Just gonna do my usual, I think, my thingamajig. Yeah, it leaves a really nice glow to the face, that does. But I'm going to put some more glow on. I'm going to go with my Ekin-Su. But yeah, I'm just getting a bit fed up. I just get some air with Rocky. I didn't have a great weekend. It was nice yesterday because I got to see Marcus. He popped round to see us. He was here for a while, so we could chat with him. And then, what did I do then? We had some food. I literally just did a freezer tea last night. I'm just washing my hands. Yeah, just did a freezer tea. We had creamy chicken pie and some they were called Southern fried chips because they were a bit chunkier than Southern fries, but they had that nice seasoning on them, so we just had that. And there was a few chicken Kievs, so look, mini ones, so we had them. And I think, do you know what, does anyone else think, do you know what, no one else is probably like me and eats bloody children's food, but mini Kievs, I used to absolutely love them when I was younger, when I was little. And they used to be really nice, like proper white meat and loads of the creamy garlicky sauce in the middle. But no, now they're like a grey brown meat with hardly anything in them. Like, it's just, they were absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I'm using the NYX brow glue at the minute. I've just got this one. Would give it a go and it's all right. It's not bad. I would like to get some of the By Ellie the brow wax that I had before. It lasts for absolute ages and I haven't found one yet that beats it. I really haven't. So I need to get some more of that. I think I got it off TikTok and I'm not sure if you can buy it anywhere else. But yeah, I'll get one of them. I got the big pot previously and then I started buying the little pots, the little travel ones. So I'm going to go for the little pot again because they are great for travel. So yeah, that's what I'm going to get. So I'm going with my, That's not the one. The Shein brow pencil, which I'm running out of. And use my little mirror to do this. Let me just quickly do this and we'll be back. Yeah. There we go, that'll do. I don't get mad with them. Just a little light coating. And then the one I love, the Guerlain Terracotta foundation is just, I just love the consistency of this. Because my skin can get quite oily now. I know I've put this shiny stuff on, but it does make the foundation look a lot nicer as well with this underneath. So yeah, pop this on. I just literally just dab the foundation on with a brush. But look at it. Look at the, compared to that side, I know I've blobbed that, but look at that. It's gorgeous. And I know it's pricey, but I'm going to get some more because it's so good. It really is. So I have got a mirror in front of me here, and then I keep looking in the viewfinder. The living room in there looks so dark, doesn't it? I've got my kitchen lights on because it's a miserable day. I'm going to have to take my Polly with me. Rocky doesn't like going out in the rain too much, but he's dying to go out, so I'm sure he'll be alright. But it's not, I don't think it's actually raining now, but it is a miserable day. It is going to be raining. I don't know if it's going to start when I leave. I don't know. Yeah. I'm meeting up with a friend on Wednesday. I'm not sure what we're doing, but I really want to go and look in Primark. So I'm going to see if she wants to pop into town. We can go and have a look around the shops. I haven't been to Primark for ages, so it'd be nice to pop into town with her. Yeah, that'd be nice. Nice to get catch up and go for coffee or lunch or something. Make sure blendy. When I did my makeup down here last time, I did not blend it enough and it looked ridiculous. So yeah, I'm just gonna wax some the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser. Wax some of this on. Get rid of the oil bags. Oh, see the magpie. Hello, Mr. Magpie. How are you doing today? So what else was I saying? Well, oh yeah, I was telling you about my weekend, wasn't I? So Saturday, headache. Friday I didn't go shopping because my mum wasn't feeling very well, and then I'd remembered that HelloFresh was coming this week anyway, so it's actually being delivered today. But it says it's coming about, I think it said about between 4:30 and 6:30. So I'm just gonna go out this morning and then I'll be back for that. But Matthew will be here because he starts his new job tomorrow. Yeah, new job again. This one sounds good. I know he's always swapping and changing his jobs, but it's just the line of work he's in. The line of work that he's in. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to go for any creamy contour today. I'm just going to go with some powder. So let's powder this. Oh no, let's go with powder blush as well. Yeah, I'll go with powder blush because this is looking a little bit slicky at the moment, like a grease slick. So let's powder this bad boy down. I'm just going to use the NYX Mineral Matte Finishing Powder with a fluffy brush. I've just had a thing come up on my I don't know whether I've mentioned this on my channel. I don't think I have. But has anyone else been following the Jay Slater case? Because I have from day one. I say having a child around the same age, but obviously Marcus is 22, he was 19, but Marcus, you know, was into all like raving and stuff at that age. He still is now and again now, but yeah, it's a bit more grown up now. But yeah, I don't know, it really got to me, and it took me in. So started following the case, and so it basically, if you're not sure, it's a 19-year-old lad went on holiday with a group of friends to go to a festival. It was like a bit like, so it was a rave, but over, I think it was like 3 or 4 days, and it was like a dance festival sort of thing in Tenerife. And then on the last day of the festival, he went missing. So he came out, apparently, got in the car with 2 guys. I'm gonna say guys because they're not lads. They're a lot older than him. One was 30. I mean, I heard the other one was 40, but he might have been about the same age as the other guy. And so yeah, basically he was meant to have got in the car with them because he said that his mate had taken his key and gone back to their apartment early, and he couldn't get in. So he got in the car with these 2 guys, and their accommodation was miles away in the mountains in Tenerife. So he was staying in, I think it's called Los Cristianos. They were staying in a place called Masca. So they drove to Masca at about, what time had it been? I think it's about 5:30 in the morning or something. It was like early hours of the morning when people usually come out of raves. They said they stopped at a shop to get some drinks and I think some cigarettes. In the meantime, on the way to this Airbnb that they were staying at in Moscow, these 2 guys were taking Jay, the 19-year-old, to his Airbnb that they'd hired that night. Now, this is all stuff that I've heard. This isn't facts. It's just basically what I've heard. But I think they said that they had been staying there for the week, and then they were due to fly home, I think it was the Tuesday. So this is like early hours of Monday morning. So stop off, get some drinks, get some cigarettes. They then carry on to the Airbnb, which is down some really like winding cliffside roads leading down into like a bit of a valley off the mountains, and it's like a little village. So yeah, the Airbnb was there. So when they get there, one of the lads had fallen asleep. So the passenger had fallen asleep, and then they'd gone into the Airbnb, all 3 of them, and one of the guys that was hiring the Airbnb, he was meant to have, I think he's called Rocky, and he went into his room and went to sleep. And the other guy, which is called Ayub, I think his name is, he then said he got Jay a blanket, I think a towel for him to use the shower, and he was going to sleep on the sofa, Jay was, and then Ayub was going to go off to bed. And then Jay said that his phone was dying and that he needed a charger. So Ayub said, go into Rocky's room and grab a charger to charge your phone. So, yeah. From then, we don't know what happened in between that time. Like, in between the time of what I'm going to tell you now and when they get there. So, the next thing that we've seen is a Snapchat. So, a photo that Jay had taken on his phone of his feet with a blanket over him, stood on a doorstep, which is the doorstep of the Airbnb. Let's get some prongs up. So yeah, so he's taken this, bearing in mind that the Airbnb isn't facing inwards to the village. It's actually, the front door is facing outwards across the mountains, and it is beautiful. But instead of Jay taking a picture of the mountains, he takes a picture of his feet, and he's holding a cigarette in his right hand, and then he's taking a picture. That's all you can see. It's just his trainers poking out from the bottom of this bottom of this blanket. So it looks like the blanket is draped, so it's quite a big throw type blanket. We think it's draped across his shoulders. So I think he sent that to some friends back in the UK. And, well, saying his friends back in the UK, I think it was like a Snapchat, you know, part of his stories. So yeah, so there's that photo. Also, he took a photo in the car on the way to the B&B, which was him sort of, it looked like he was sort of like leant back, head back on the headrest in the back of the car with his sunglasses on. And it said that he'd just stolen an AP, which is a bit of, it's like a really high, like a branded watch. It's a bit like a Rolex, but I think more expensive than a Rolex. So yeah, so he's taken that, and so he says, so he's taken that, and that he's with these, I think he called them Mali lads, because I think one of the guys was from, he's Somalian, but he's actually from the UK. So I think he put on with these two Mali lads, or Mali kids, I think he called them, just stolen this AP off. I'm not going to say the word, it's the naughty C word. And they were off to sell it, and he just put for 10 quid, which apparently is like £10,000. So now 10 quid in Coventry would be £10 note, but yeah, apparently to the kids nowadays that means 10,000, which, you know, is pretty cheap for an AP watch, so I've heard. So yeah, so there's that photo, and then there's a photo of him stood on the doorstep in mascot at the Airbnb. I say we think it's him because it doesn't actually show his face, it doesn't show his body, it just shows a pair of trainers peeping through the blanket. You can see a hand holding a cigarette. That is it. So from then, and then this is Ayub's words, because this is what he actually told the reporters and the police, I think, that about, what time did he say it was? About 8 o'clock or 7:30? I think the picture of him stood on the doorstep was at 7:30. I think about 8 o'clock, I think it was, the doorbell rang, but it wasn't a doorbell, it was like a buzzer. He said it was a buzzer, and Ayub did, and it startled him, and Jay said, oh, what's that noise? And he said, oh, I think it's the door. So he goes to answer the door, and it's the Airbnb owner's sister, and she's asking Ayub if he can move his car, because I think he was like blocking her in or something. So he goes out to move his car, and then in the meantime Jay walks out, and Ayub says, you know, where you going? And he says, I need to go and get some scram, which I'm not sure what scram is, but I've heard that it means food. I think it's a northern thing. So yeah, he said he wants to go and get some scram, and he walks off. So there's a bus stop literally right next to the Airbnb, and I think he first goes to the bus stop. There is a timetable there, so I've been told on certain videos I've watched on YouTube. There is a timetable there, But he then goes over to the Airbnb's sister, who had knocked the door to get the car moved, and asked her if what time the bus comes. And she can't speak English, but she tries to tell him it's 10 o'clock. Then a few minutes, well, I think about 10 minutes later, he then comes back over to her because I think he thinks, so I've heard, that she said in 10 minutes, where she actually said 10 o'clock. And at this time, I think it had just gone 8 o'clock. It was like 10 past 8 or something. So, you know, he had a bit to wait. So he decided to walk, apparently. But he walks the wrong way. Instead of going down the mountain into the main village towards another bus stop, and actually towards his accommodation, which is about an 11-hour walk, so I've been told, or an hour's car journey. So he sets off the wrong way, climbs up the mountain, up these really windy roads, cliffside roads. There's not, I don't think there's, I think there might be some, no, I don't think there is a pavement actually walking up. So you have to make sure that you stay out of the way of cars and whatnot. But they don't go fast anyway because they're winding roads. So, where are we up to now? So yeah, so he sets off up these roads, and then he does there's like a viewpoint with a restaurant about, I think it's about 20 minutes from the Airbnb up this winding road. And apparently he heads towards there, he goes there, and that doesn't open till 10 o'clock. So he then carries on up, and he rings his friend called Lucy, says that he's lost, he's got 1% on his battery, and that he's going to walk back to his accommodation in Los Cristianos, which is an 11-hour walk. And then he I think gets a phone, he either gets a phone call from his other friend, or he rings his friend called Brad, and they're having a bit of a giggle because apparently he's sort of fallen into a cactus, cut his leg, he's in the middle of nowhere, and they think it's you know, it's quite funny. But Brad says that then he says, I've got to go, I've got a call coming through. But I don't think Bradley knew who the call was from. Plus he knew he only had 1% on his phone. I think he'd FaceTimed Bradley as well, because Bradley said he's seen him slip down some rocks. So it would have been FaceTime. Then it cuts to him being lost. That's it. That's the end of the call. Lucy apparently then, so this is the girl that he spoke to on the first call. If I'm not, do you know what, I'm rubbish at storytelling, so if I'm not making sense, if you haven't heard about this case, which if you haven't, where you been, because it was quite a big one. But yeah, so just Google Jay Slater and the whole story will come up. But basically he then, you know, isn't heard of. So Lucy, after speaking to him on the phone, decides to call the police and say that he's missing. But he's not missing, is he? Because she's spoken to him. He's just a little bit lost in the Masca Mountains, and I think Lucy had said, basically, go back to the road and I'll come and get you. She didn't go and get him though, did she? Because she called the police, and thinks she went to the police station. Then, very strangely, sets up a GoFundMe page. Now, who sets up a GoFundMe page? For one, someone that's been missing for, I don't know, an hour. And two, he's not missing because she spoke to him on the phone. He just was running out of battery, and he wasn't quite sure where he was. He'd just come off the road, and decided that he wanted to take the chance and walk back to his accommodation. Let's get some eyeliner on. I'm just using I think this is NYX as well, isn't it? Yeah, NYX Epic Wear. This isn't sponsored by NYX, by the way. Let's just whack a bit of this on. It's just like a kohl liner, but in what do you call it? Is it classed as a kohl liner actually if it's brown? It's just like a pencil one, but in dark brown. So Lucy sets up the GoFundMe. I think then she contacts Jay's mum, and then they just don't hear from him. That's it. He's just fell off the face of the earth. They don't know where he is. So I think then the police the next day do start to look for Jay in the mountains. Jay's parents and older brother then go over to Tenerife to help look for him. And also Brad, so he's the last person to speak to Jay, his mum flies over as well. Didn't hear of Lucy's parents flying over, but I did hear that they were at their holiday home in Lanzarote. This is all sort of hearsay, so yeah, I'm not sure whether that was true or not. I'm pretty sure though her parents would have gone over and made sure she was okay, but yeah, haven't heard anything about that. So the police then take the two lads in from the Airbnb, or men shall I say, in for questioning. Or I don't know whether they take them in for questioning or they question them at the Airbnb, but you know, they tell their story, which is exactly what I told you. Jay asked if he could stay at theirs because he'd given his key to Brad and he couldn't get into his accommodation because he didn't have a key. Now, with most accommodations, you know, like hotels and things, you can just get one from reception, but it may have been an apartment, so that may have been true. So we don't know. But yeah, so they tell the police that. The police then allow these two men to fly home the next day. Still haven't found Jay. Still haven't heard from Jay. Going back to when he walked up the Masca Mountains, up towards the viewing point, many hikers go down the mountains to, I think it's like a small beach. There's a lot of hikers around there, a lot of hikers. I mean, if you have a look online, there's loads of videos, there's loads of information about hiking through the mountains. I don't think there's any stories about anyone being lost in the mountains, or maybe a bit lost but found, but they haven't been found dead or anything in the mountains. So yeah, that's another thing to think of. So when he was walking up to this restaurant to, you know, possibly charge his phone, because going back as well, even though Ayub had said to go and get his charger from his friend's room, it then turns out that Ayub says he didn't have anywhere to actually plug it in by the sofa. But the reporters went round the Airbnb and there was a charger or a plug right next to the sofa. So yeah, we don't know whether he hadn't been in to get the charger or what, but you know, it's just mixed stories. So yeah, Joe's lost in the mountains. The police are searching for him. Family and friends have gone over to search for him. The day that Lucy rang the police, which is the same day that she'd just spoken to Jay on the phone, she goes to the Airbnb. But what I've heard is she wasn't supposed to know these guys. So how did she know where they were staying? How did she know how to get in touch with them? Because apparently she had rang Ayub. She then, instead of going to the location, because she'd also said to Jay, send me the pin, so you can actually send a pin of your location to friends, family, whoever you're speaking to, on Google Maps. It would actually come up on the phone where you were. Instead of going to that location, she goes to the Airbnb, after apparently not knowing these guys. And then that night, they go up into the mountains and they're shouting for him. Pitch black. There's no lights up there. So yeah. So, you know, weeks and weeks go by. These lads have gone home. Everyone's still searching. And then stories come out in the local newspapers about Jay and his character. And basically what had happened is he was involved in an incident in the UK, I think it was in 2021, where he had attacked, with a group of friends, attacked another lad and severely beat him up. It was pretty horrific what they did. So if you Google his name, you know, that'll come up if you want to read about that story, but I'm not going to go into that. But they basically left him for dead. He was in a bad way, but he survived. They were taken to court, I think, a year after, and he was given probation, basically, or what's it called, community service. So I think he just finished his community service before he went away. So he did that. There was like 200 hours of community service or something. So he got that done, and then he decided to go on holiday with his friends. So while he was missing, this lad that he had beaten quite badly, I don't know whether it was him or whether he was just, you know, with these guys. But anyway, this lad, he's called Tom Hilton. And he puts out, I think it's like a message on Instagram or something, I think. Just basically saying that, you know, I hope he's found safe and well. Because there was loads of trolls as well that were making up horrible stories and being nasty about the parents and whatnot. So you have all that as well. So yeah, he puts out this message. Then people start coming out saying something's going on here. We don't think he's gone missing in the mountains. We think something's happened when he came out of the rave, and they think that it's got something to do with Ayub and Rocky. Then people start saying they think it's got something to do with Tom Hilton. But then it comes out that Tom Hilton had also been in trouble after he had recovered from this incident had happened. And he was also doing community service on probation and had got a electronic tag around his ankle, so had to be home at a certain hour. But then people were saying that he was on holiday at the rave in Tenerife. You can't go on holiday when you've got an electronic tag attached to your ankle. That's not something they do, so that's not possible. But then it came out that he didn't have an electronic tag, and he was actually staying on the island of Mallorca, which is a Spanish island, isn't too far from Tenerife, and that he could have possibly chartered a yacht, small boat, travelled over to Tenerife, to Los Cristianos, or chartered it to the Masca Mountains. At the entrance of the mountains, which there is a beach and there is like a jetty where you can actually rock up in your boat, anchor down, and then you can climb up in the mountains. And they believe that something happened to Jay and that his body was taken into the mountains. Now this is before his body is found. So he goes missing on the, I think it was it the 19th of June? And then he's found on the day after, when we had the England game. So yeah, his body's found. It's obviously badly decomposed because it's been out in the mountains for 4 weeks. So he went missing on a Monday. He was found dead on 4 weeks later on a Monday by the Spanish police. But I think a few days before that, his parents had been in touch with Mountain Rescue. Were they Norwegian Mountain Rescue? They were specialists anyway, that actually specialised, had the proper, you know, the sniffer dogs and everything to actually find people in mountains. They were, you know, well known for finding people in mountains. That is exactly what they did. So I think they had paid this group of mountain rescue to come over to Tenerife. They had landed on the Monday. Jay's body was found on the Monday morning, so they hadn't even gone out to have a look for him yet. It was the police that had found him. But going back 2 weeks before this, so 2 weeks after he'd gone missing and 2 weeks before he was found, the police had decided to call off the search. Now, obviously, friends, family, whoever else were still looking, but the police had said they'd called off the search. So how and why had the police found Jay on that Monday when this mountain rescue had flown in to Tenerife to look for Jay? Yes, there's so many different stories going around. It's a lot more long-winded than that, but you know, I tried to like cut it down, and there's bits I missed out and I've had to go back and stuff like that, but it's mind-blowing. So he's been found. He's been repatriated. I mean, before he was repatriated, he had a post-mortem, and they said that his death had incurred because of a head injuries, which is consistent with a fall, so that he'd fallen off the cliff, off the side of the mountain basically. So he was then repatriated to the UK. The parents weren't able to formally identify him because of the decomposition. So they apparently did fingerprints, and that's how they identified Jay, is by his fingerprints. They also said that his belongings were next to him or not far from him. And people are saying that what belongings, because people are saying that his phone was found on the beach, which is nowhere near where he was found. They were saying that his clothes were folded up next to him, but none of this has actually come out in the news, so it's all hearsay. It's all like Chinese whispers basically, so we don't know. But just something doesn't sit right with me. I don't understand why a 19-year-old boy who had been out raving, he was thirsty, he didn't have any water, it was another thing as well. His phone had died. He was walking in the wrong way. He decided to go through the mountains to go home rather than walk down the mountains on the road, wait for the bus, because it was only like just over an hour before the next bus was, jump in a taxi, get your friends to send you a taxi. It just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't make sense why his friends didn't go to him. Why did they contact the police? Why was a GoFundMe set up within a couple of hours of Lucy speaking to Jay on the phone? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't sit right. And I just feel so heartbroken for the parents. It's because obviously I've lost a child. I can also have some sort of understanding of that pain of losing a child, but also I've got a 22-year-old. I can relate to that whole, you know, going out with friends and going to raves and, you know, going away on holiday and things like that, and having that worry. So yeah, I feel so bad for them. And if I feel like this with everything that's gone on, how do they feel? What do they think about it? Now, they may have just accepted the fact that he fell, and then, you know, that's it. But there's so many stories going around. It may be playing in, you know, on their mind as well, that some foul play happened. And yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But it's one of them things that is just playing on my mind at the moment, and just, I don't know. My mum thinks I'm being silly, so if she's watching this, she's gonna be laughing. Well, not laughing, because obviously it's a young lad that's lost his life, but she just thinks I'm being silly, thinking that something else has happened to him. But it doesn't add up. It just, like, everyone's stories keep changing, and like there's stuff that I've missed out, but you know, because it's such a long story, and it's been going on for a while, because it happened in June and he was found in July. And it's just, yeah, it just don't make sense. It just does not make sense to me. But yeah, so that's another thing that's going on in my head. Plus, it is the what's that? It's the 1st of October tomorrow, so we're going into the months that Izzy passed away. So yeah, that's another thing that I've got to think of, which is rubbish. I'm just trying to stay as focused as I can be. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my, I think it's lip and cheek tint, this one. I'm sure it is. Where's the box? Oh, it just says cream blush. I'm going to put a bit on my lips, see what it looks like, and then just put some of this over the top. There. See what it looks like. Yeah, a lot of things going around in my head. Oh, that's a lovely colour, isn't it? Like that. It's like a purpley pinky colour. And then just put some of this Kiko. This is a coloured balm, but it's quite light. Right. Let's put this over the top. Oh, it's a really cute colour, that, isn't it? Really subtle. Yeah, I don't know what to do with my hair. I'm not sure. Got enough eyes. Really don't think I've got enough mascara on. I'm not overly keen on this one. It is quite good, but I do like my Lash Princess, but I've run out, so I need to get some more of that. That will do. I think it's the thick eyeliner. I've done it too thick. But I think I might, I don't know if I want all my hair on my face. I might put a little bit down. It does need a wash, but it's not too bad. Just whack my clip in it. Right, it's looking a little bit dead on the ends. Really do need to get cut. I know I say it every time, but I know. I'm sick of hearing it myself. I drive myself mad as well, I really do. Oh. Look at that. What the hell was that? Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, that's a bloody mess. It's a bloody mess. Just gonna pull little bits out on that. Mousse. Got no hairspray. Let's get some hairspray in my life. For you people that are sick of hearing about the J Slater case as well, I'm sorry. But you know when something's playing on your mind, you just, yeah, I just keep thinking of the parents and just, yeah, it's not good for them, bless them. It's shit, in fact, it's shit. Right, that'll have to do. That'll do. Clip does not feel secure though. Oh, let's pull bits out. Don't like it when it's like flat to my head. So like pull it out and make it a bit poofy. See that? What's going on there? I'll do that. Right then, I'm gonna get on with my day, and if I do anything fun, I'll pop the camera on. But if not, I'll catch up with you later to end this vlog. I'll see you in a bit.